Hi, Billy. How are you?
Hey, I'm good.
Thank you for coming in today. So from our session last week, I had been reflecting a bit, and it seems like the fear of dogs is really present for you. Would you like to share more about that today?
Yes. So I'm really terrified of dogs. It started when I was young. I was 7 whenever a Chihuahua bit me, and I had to have some pretty bad stitches.
Oh,
So
goodness.
yeah, ever since then I've just had a lot of different symptoms.
Okay. So this started when you were young, and it seems like your fear is pretty rooted in what happened to you, and that's totally understandable. So thank you for sharing that with me. Um, What is the maybe the thoughts or the beliefs that you have around dogs, like when you see them, when you're around them?
So every time I see a dog, even if it's a puppy, I start to sweat. I can feel my heart start to beat really fast. Um, I really don't even like looking at pictures of them because it just really riles me up. But I just get scared that they're gonna bite me again, like they did when I was younger.
Okay, yeah. I'm hearing that you're having some, physiological reactions to that stress and that fear. And I would love to work through some of that with you so that maybe we can move towards a place where you could be around a dog.
Yes, I would like that because my spouse was recently diagnosed with epilepsy and
Oh,
is
goodness.
having to get a dog to help with that condition.
Okay.
So I'm just really stressed out about that. So I'd love to work on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that, this is an act of caring about yourself, but also want to commend you for, doing this for your wife and confronting some of those fears. So what we're going to do together is called exposure therapy. And that's basically where we're going to take small increments of exposing yourself like to dogs or the idea of dogs, so that you can move through that fear. And I'll be here through the process, so if anything comes up for you, if you're having like intense anxiety or stress related to that exposure, that's something that we can talk about.
Okay, thank you. That sounds like something I could do.
Okay. So I wanted to ask you maybe 5 things that are triggering for you about dogs, or like specific scenarios where it's either about a dog or with a dog that triggers your anxiety.
Okay, so first thing is like something I could think of, like reading an article or anything with pictures of dogs. That triggers me. I don't even like looking at them. Um,
Okay.
being in the same room as a dog. That
Mm-hmm.
is one of the worst ones I can think of. Um,
Okay.
Having to pet someone's dog.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty scary. That would be a scary situation for me. Movies about dogs, watching any movie with a dog in it scares me. I'm trying to think. The last one, probably like if I had to go to a dog park and like just look at dogs, even if they weren't around me, that still scares me too.
Okay. I hear you. Thank you for sharing those with me. So I think that we have the opportunity to maybe make some small steps together, so that being around dogs maybe won't be so stressful for you. Um, so I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, the scariest scenario is having to physically come in contact with the dog. Am I hearing you right?
Yes, like petting a dog, coming in contact with
Petting a
it.
dog.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So I think that we're gonna work up to petting a dog.
Okay, good.
So maybe that will be our goal. Okay. Does that sound like an okay, like overall goal? Like hopefully we can get there.
Yes,
Okay.
that sounds like a good goal.
Okay. And then um I think from there, like you mentioned, even being in the same room as a dog is pretty triggering. So I think maybe like the same room as a dog, where maybe the dog is on a leash, or some way in which the dog wouldn't come interact with you like physically, but you could be around a dog.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Um, and then what about, I know you mentioned dog parks really scaring you. Hopefully we'll get to the dog parks after we, do some other small steps, but how would you feel about maybe even sitting in your car at the dog park and just watching them? Like you don't have to even get out. Unless you feel like getting out, you could get out and stand like 30 feet away from the dog park.
Yes,
Um,
I feel like that's something good I could work up
okay.
to.
And then is there a specific movie about dogs that tends to give you anxiety?
I'm trying to think about there's not one specifically.
Okay.
I know my kids used to like watching like Old Yeller and stuff, and that really scared me. But just yeah, probably that or any movie with a lot of
Okay.
dogs in it.
Yeah. So maybe you try to watch a movie about a dog and then do you feel like would reading an article about dogs or looking at a picture about dogs scare you the most?
Looking at pictures.
Pictures. Okay.
Mhm.
So then we'll do pictures next. I have written all this down so I can give it to you at the end of our session. But today is just a plan, and then next week we will start with looking at pictures of dogs. How do you
Okay,
feel about that?
I feel like that's something I could do, especially since you said you'll be there for me. That sounds
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, thank you, Billy, and I will see you next week.
Thank you.